This is Guitarist Denis Taaffe, and I'm in my home studio, and I want to welcome you to Bargain Bin Amps, number 7. And please bear with me. My jaw's a little swollen here from having dental problems, so basically I'm on antibiotics and so on and so on. So if you can deal with that, I got some stuff to show you. Now, walking through a music store, one of my favorite local little music stores, walking around, checking out what they have. They have a nice Igniter amp. Didn't have any reverb on it, and I think one of the guys who works there that I know wanted to buy it, so it's kind of off limits. Never got to try it. I'm sure it's pretty good. So anyway, I kept walking, and I was kind of curious. At the very, very end of all these amps lined up, one that caught my interest was an orange amp. I guess it's a UK company, and I'm sure you've seen them. They're orange. The Tolex of the amps are orange. And this one was a pretty old one, really. And, well, they let me use it for an evening, see what I thought of it. So it's not my amp yet. They're asking $150 for it. However, might be willing to take a PV bass amp I have on trade, though they'd only give me $80 for it. I don't know about that. It's got a 15-inch speaker. It's a bass amp. In any case, so more about this orange. This is the Crush series. Orange Crush, like the drink. And this is the 30R. Orange Crush 30R. And the Orange Crush 30R is a little combo amp. 2 channels, reverb, no thrills whatsoever. It does have a line out, headphone out, and optional foot switch out to change channels. It's solid state, and it has a little 10-inch speaker. And I'm honestly, I'm used to using kind of bigger amps than that in stereo. Usually 212 amps is what I like to use anyway. But I'm open to trying different amps. I was really skeptical. Could this little orange amp really do what I need it to do, you know? And so I usually run 2 amps in stereo. In this case, I have an Albion. It's one of my favorite amps. But I gave this little orange a try. First thing that I like about it, one, the weight of it is just so handy because it's so light and so small. You know, you'd swear it's just a little home practice amp. Here, let's take a look at it. There we go. See it? Now compare that to one of their 212s. There are 2 212 amps, big boys. And here's this little, well, it looks like a little puppy, doesn't it? A little tiny puppy. There it is, the little orange. And if you want to know, there's the other Albion right there. So that made me real skeptical. I mean, awfully small amp, and a 10-inch speaker, not even a 12-inch speaker. So I was highly skeptical. However, What I found is it's really a great amp. It works really great, and it's actually loud enough to play. Let's take a listen to it. Now here, this is the Orange amp and the Albion together. By the way, I bought new strings today, and I'll show you why. Here's my guitar. Here are the strings. Check out the intonation. Perfect on the E string. Perfect on the A string. But watch what happens on the D string. Right? And this causes problems when just doing a power chord, you know. A 5 chord, it sounds out of tune. Listen. Instead of, and there I'm bending up the chord. That's the way it should sound, but it sounds like. The rest are okay. And I think what the problem is, it's not the guitar at all. I think the guitar set up just fine. What it is, it's the strings. They're just older than dirt. But here we go. This is with the Albion and that little little puppy there, that little orange. And don't worry, we'll hear just the amp alone here in a second, but just showing you, here's with my setup, my pedal board setup, and you'll see that it can keep up with a 212 amp, no problem. Here's one of my staple sounds, one that I use often. Not bad for a little amp. Now, in the past I've gigged with two little 112 40 watt amps, and this is very similar to that. Definitely works really well. In fact, I've already made a recording with it, which will be part of this video. Okay, let's turn off the Albion and get down to what this little amp can do. Now, so far what I was worried about is, you know, a little tiny amp like that. I think it's 30 watts isn't bad, but a little 10-inch speaker. But it's actually a really, really good sound, which is what got me interested in it, you know? It's kind of... So that's just the amp by itself. And for clean, it's really nice. It's feels pretty close to a tube amp. I mean, it's the kind of thing. Again, if you're playing, and you're going, boy, I wish that sounded more tube-like, then that's a failing of the amp. And I just never have that here so far with this amp. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice. And these are on the old strains. Okay, now let me make some changes on the amp itself, see if we can get some different tones here. This was all on the neck pickup, by the way. Well, I'll do the bridge here real quick. It should be a lot brighter. Okay, so set at maximum here, but because it's an analog reverb, not a digital, like the new ones I think have digital reverb. This one is an old analog, so it gives you kind of a different sound. Here I have the mid. It has a 3-band EQ, and I have the mid turned all the way down. And what I found is a real musical EQ section. Anyway, basically this is the kind of clean channel. This is how a clean channel amp should sound, or the clean channel of an amp should sound. Okay, now here's the opposite. Here's the mid all the way up. So it should be a real honky kind of. And by the way, it's very loud. That's all neck position. Okay. Okay, and this is kind of a bridge. Yeah, that's kind of a more clean rock sound. the reverb all the way up too. Here's one last clean setting, and on this one the reverb's back down to 5 instead of 10, which is the maximum. And I really pulled the clean level up. You know, it has a gain and a level for the clean, so the clean is way up and the level is as well. I've heard plenty of amps that sound exactly like this thing. Okay, so turn on a delay real quick. I know it's in mono, but I'm just curious to see what it sounds like too. I kind of bottomed out on the bass because I've got the bass turned up. So let me go turn the bass down a little bit, because you don't want to kill the speaker. Okay. Yeah, I had that bass on 10, and so when you hit those low notes, it's just killing that speaker. So let's try it now. Yeah, a lot better. It's not breaking up. That's the cabinet. Not that guitar cabinet, but the one behind it. Yeah, that's sweet. And let's turn the Albion back on. If you haven't noticed, I'm kind of doing these videos for myself as well. See what works and what doesn't, how different amps behave and things. So that's why I'm going to turn the Albion back on right now. Okay, now we're back in stereo land. Just that EQ setting is really different than what it was. Got that microphone stand. It's buzzing all over the place. But it's not the amp. The amp is keeping up greatly. So I'm pretty impressed. On this setting, I mean, this is pretty loud right there. I mean, that's louder than even the 212 is set to. Okay. All right, let's take a break here. All right, so far, my impressions of this amp is it's freaking great on the clean channel for such a tiny little amp, a little puppy, you know, that it's actually keeping up with a 2x12. I mean, that's, you know, like a Chihuahua keeping up with a St. Bernard or something. I don't know why I'm having these dog analogies. In any case, it's really sweet. I mean, it's really a nice amp. And now I see why people like orange amps. And this isn't even the tube amps, you know, this is just a solid state. And so far it's been really nice. I know everyone's waiting to see what the lead channel is like. I am too. And we'll find out here in a second. And I'm actually, they proved me, you know, my skepticism was unfounded, because really, I could certainly play with this amp live. Now, obviously, I'm thinking in sets of twos because I play in stereo most of the time, and it would be plenty loud, you know, for most gigs. You know, I suppose if you're playing, I don't know, with, you know, Metallica or something, you need these, you know, 10 4x12s or what have you. Only one's mic'd, of course. But, yeah, so I'm really impressed that, you know, for the price, for $150 so far, it's really great. And it's so convenient, you know. It's one of those little amps that is tiny, doesn't sound like a practice amp, you know. It sounds like a professional amp, and yet is super small and light. And that goes a long way. That could be super handy. And if you ran two in stereo, you'd certainly have plenty of power. You know, even the 30 watts here is pretty good. Yeah, pretty good on the clean sound. And what I like about the clean, it's a solid sound. Now, I suppose with the EQ settings and things, if you're not careful, you could certainly kind of do more than the amp can do volume-wise. So you'd have to be a little careful. On the other hand, in this series, anyway, what I've found is that the next step up is I think it's a CR60. It's a 60-watt amp with a 112 speaker, However, the price more than doubles. I mean, it's I think between $400 and $500. I've seen some maybe used one for $350 or something. But that's a lot of money compared to this little amp here. Okay, now just for fun, we'll do the lead channel. I remember when I was younger, man, I was all about how fast you could play and how sweet the distortion channel was on an amp. In fact, I didn't even listen to the clean channel, if you can believe it. But those were the 80s, speed metal and how fast you could solo and things, And I feel sorry for people because, from what I understand, a lot of them hurt themselves trying to play fast, incorrectly. And so they get like carpal tunnel syndrome and all kinds of stuff like that. Because they'd abuse the thing in trying to play fast. And here's a good story. My old music teacher, Chris Hadding, one day came to a lesson, and he put a little multi-track recorder, a little 4-track recorder. He says, okay, go ahead and record something for me right now. And up to that point, I'd been all about the guitar solo and trying to play fast. So I could do sweep picking, I could do scales and things. However, when he put the multi-track in front of me, I was like, well, I've got this little thing I kind of messed around with, And in the end, I couldn't really put anything down because I didn't have any musical ideas, really, at all. And the reason is because I was spending all my time on soloing and trying to be, the fastest on the block or what have you. Total waste of time. It really is not worthwhile at all. One, it's not even musical, and two, put yourself in front of a recorder and, those solos and things aren't going to go very far. So that was a great lesson for me. This was back when I was, holy smokes, 17, 18, maybe, on there. So, there's something to keep in mind, and believe me, as you get older, you'll be thankful for that advice. I promise you, because if I was still doing, trying to be the fastest soloist and things, I'd be kind of miserable, guitar-wise. Alright, let's get back to the amp. Alright, so now we're going to try the gain channel, and I'm sure it's probably pretty sweet. We'll see. It's noisier than hell. But I got the gain cranked, You definitely have to have a noise suppressor for when you're not playing. try and do a little better job there. Okay, well, for the gain channel, I mean, for an amp, a little amp like that, it's not bad at all. However, at high gain channels, you get a lot of noise. A lot of noise, and this is just direct into the amp, you know. You definitely need a little noise suppressor pedal when you're not playing, you know, to cut that noise out, like a Hush 2CX or something like that. But it's a good sound. Of course, this was maximum gain. You know, if you don't need that much gain, if you're doing more kind of AC/DC-ish stuff, I think it'd be fine for that. Okay, well, which for me, quite frankly, I'm interested in the clean channel more than the gain channel. Though it would be nice if it had a nice gain channel, you know. But yeah, I mean, I can hear it now. The, you know, kind of the hiss and things. They're not apparent on the clean channel. So basically, I'm trying to politely say that it sounds better clean than it does distorted. Like most amps, quite frankly. Which is why you always have, you know, distortion pedals and that kind of thing. And with that, it'd be worthwhile. Without a doubt. And the clean channel, I'm totally surprised that for such a small amp, to be able to really keep up with a lot bigger amps with no problems. And you can certainly play with it, you know, play out with it, you know. So overall, I think it's a really good app. I think especially for the used prices, give me $150. I've seen them as much as $300. Probably worth it. And I may just get rid of my PV bass amp and trade. I don't know why I have a bass amp. I don't even play bass. I don't know how that happened, but anyway. Well, I thought that the orange amp would give a little better gain channel. Now, and it seems more complicated to use, you know. There's a gain, a volume, and a level. those together, it seems, along with the EQ to get a good sound. So, and remember, I've only had this amp for, just this evening, so, I certainly haven't spent enough time, tweaking the perfect sound. But right out of the box, I was able to get a great clean sound and a not so great distorted sound. And this is in most amps that I find, so I'm not surprised by that. So overall, if I had to rate the amp, I'd give it probably a 7 out of 10, maybe. Just because of that lead channel. I expected a little more, I guess. Or at least for it to be a little cleaner, But what it has going for it is definitely volume. Quality of the clean tone is great. And volume for such a small amp. And 3 that is small, and the weight, is great. It's so easy to pick up. Even if you had 2 of them, it would be super easy to carry them around, go up flights of stairs, that kind of thing, no problem. Expense-wise, that's what I found. Orange amps are a little more expensive than the average amp. Part of it's the reputation, kind of like Marshall and that kind of thing. But I certainly see why, especially on the clean channel and the gain channel. Now I heard that the new model, they've actually reworked the preamp and things on there, so maybe that'd be a little better. I'll see if I can find one and try it out. And I'll check out that lead channel and see if it's better. Trying to think of what else well, that's about it. I suppose if I was concerned about the size of it, a little 10-inch speaker, and the amp wattage is there, I wouldn't push it too much further, than when you're playing with a band at a reasonable volume level. If you have like a super loud drummer or something, then I would consider going up to the next one, which is the 60-watt 112 version, which you're going to be paying a lot more on there, The other thing is it works great with pedals, for sure, And I did some recording with it, so I'm pretty happy overall with the experience, And definitely for, what is usually considered a little tiny practice amp, that it can be much more than that. And that in itself is quite an achievement, I think. Alright, see you next time. Bye.